car repossessions are up a lot. And that is a big sign in the economy that things are not going well.
Okay, but what are y'all paying for your car payment? Because now you have me confused. Because $650 is a lot. It's a lot. I would rather not pay it. Don't love that. However, I do love my car. However, she's not a fancy sports car. I have a 2023, might be a 2022, I don't remember. Kia Sorento. Nice SUV. I loved her. I love her. Again, I love her. But it's not fancy by any means. I would consider it a normal car for a mom, for a family. Also, that monthly payment includes like my warranty with Kia. So anytime my light comes on, anytime I need my oil changed, they got me, and that's nice. And also our credit is good. Before you say our credit's bad, that's why my payment is high. And before you say they must have got me on some crazy interest rate, I'm pretty sure we went back and forth with the dealer and USAA, and we went with the USAA, and I think we got like 2 or 3%. So none of that is a factor. We weren't bought into anything. We just got a brand new car, which I felt like was a good purchase. And I still do feel like is a good purchase and a good monthly investment, though it does make me sad. Simply because I'm a mother, I'm a homeschool mom especially. We're always doing things. Now I work. I need a reliable car. We're also traveling across the state line all the time.
So everybody's car note is $700 or more. And don't come on here lying and say that your car note is $400 because I'm not going to believe you unless you show proof. Since I have been buying cars, I have not paid under $400 for a car note. And when my car note was $400.01, that was back in 2017. Every vehicle I have purchased since then has been at least $550 or more. So what y'all doing to these vehicles that we gotta pay so much money? And don't come out here talking about you got good credit, because everybody don't have a 800 credit score. And it's like everybody that I seen recently that bought a car, it's been like $850, $900, sometimes $1,000. Why y'all want so much for these vehicles? Like, no, they must gonna talk to me. They must gonna drive for me or something. So what kind of vehicle you got and how much your car note is? I got a 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee, and I paid $699.39 a month.
I want to talk about the normalization of these insane car prices that we are seeing in the modern era. And every time I talk about finances, or I do sort of a breakdown to help people understand just like why they're feeling so stressed and strapped, there's always somebody that's like, well, why do you even have a car payment? Why don't you go buy an $800 car? They don't really exist anymore. And if you found one, congratulations, but that's not a real thing. Or why don't you just save up $10,000 and just buy a car? How are you supposed to get back and forth to work, considering all of the variables that would make that difficult while you're saving to go buy a car outright? These videos that people are posting, and I'm going to go ahead and start one.
How much is your car payment?
$1,400.
How much is your car payment?
$403.
What's your car payment?
$1,100.
How much is your car payment?
$1,400.
What's your car payment?
And here's another one.
I can't relate, cause I'm a sinner. I give a fuck, cause I'm a sinner. And
These videos that are normalizing these insane car prices and then car payments. People, when your car is paid off, drive it until it burns into the ground, right? People want to feel nice. They want to have nice things, and they already feel so pressed and they feel so destroyed in this economy that I understand the desire to want to go have something nice. But spending what is clearly a third of your paycheck on a car note is not the way to do it. And these videos are trying to normalize these insane car prices. Now, I want you to look at this sheet, okay? This sort of demonstrates why car payments, even for like an entry-level car, like why car payments are already so insane. The average price of an out-the-door car in this country is almost $50,000, right? After all of the dealer shenanigans that go on, the out-the-door price on a car is pushing 50 grand. Entry-level cars are $30,000. And these dealerships are trying to normalize you coming in there and going like, hey, don't get the one that's already hard to afford. Get the one that makes you feel like a superstar. And these videos always have somebody in it that like has their car outright, or they have somebody that has like a legacy car note from 7 or 8 years ago that's paying $300 or $400 in it. But these people that have $450, $500, $600 car notes, those are entry level car loans in today's economy. These people that are trying to normalize these $1,000 and $1,500 car payments to make you feel better about getting a car that's that expensive, please stop letting these dealerships normalize this stuff. And if you can go get a used car, if you can make other arrangements, but more importantly, if you can just, once your car is paid off, don't fall into the trap of like, well, now what if it breaks down? Yeah, if it does, and you got to pay $600 for repair, that's better than paying $600 to $1,000 a month for a car loan that you already can't afford. Imagine being able to put away that $600 every single month instead. Please stop letting these dealerships normalize you coming in there and walking out with $1,000 car payment in this economy.
If you're thinking about buying a car right now, I would suggest you really rethink any kind of a car loan where you're going to have over a $500 a month car payment, even over a $300 a month car payment. Really reconsider it, especially if those car payments are more than 3 years long. If you're doing a 5, 6, or 7 year car loan for over $500 up to $1,000, $1,200, $1,400 a month, which is what I'm seeing people do, you're really going to regret it. And the numbers are showing that now.
So typically whenever something happens to my car, I automatically just want to go get a new car. I'm like, check engine light on, go get a new car. Need new tires, go get a new car. So my check engine light came on probably about like a couple weeks ago, and then I was having troubles like starting my car after I got gas, like put gas in my car. So last night I was like, okay, I just need to go get a new car. So then I started pricing out, like, cause I already know what car that I want. I want to go electric. No, it's not a Tesla. And I priced it all out, seeing how much car payments were. Child, I'm about to go get my car fixed and go get some new tires because we're keeping my Ford Fusion. Because what? Y'all are out here paying $800,000 car payments? That is insane.
A lot of you guys are asking why my car payment is $1,000 a month, and here's why. So I told you guys I got my first car when I was a senior. It was the car of that year. I had a backup camera, I had a push start, everything, right? 9 months later, I crashed it and I totaled it, and my parents had already almost paid it off. So then they pulled me out another car, the same one, but I had to pay it. So I started paying it. I was giving payments, and I was almost done. I had less than 10,000, right? I always kept up with the maintenance, everything. And I don't know why, but there was so many recalls on this car to the point where it almost left me on the freeway a couple times, okay? By this time, I already had my son. He was a baby at that time. And it got to the point where it wasn't even safe for us to be driving in that car. Not even on the freeway, not anywhere. So my mom was like, it was time to upgrade. So I was like, all right, bet. So then I went in, and at that time, it was 2021. I got a 2021 Acura ILX, super nice, brand new, nice interior, everything, right? Never really gave me problems. And I got married. We have 3 kids now. Fast forward to now. And we just didn't fit in that little car anymore. We needed a SUV, like a mom car. So I traded in this car, my car for this car, and I'm actually carrying $10,000 of negative equity from my very first car. But I had no choice. Like at that point, it was not safe to drive that car. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna have to swallow it and take the L. So that's why my car payment is so high, but it's totally worth it for me because yes, I have my mom car and we have our room. And look at this car seat. Look at how big it is. It takes up a lot of space because it turns. And my kids are comfortable. We have the stroller in the back. So to me, yes, it's $1,000, but it's our safety. And we have the room that we need. And I love my car.
Calling all my financial advisors from TikTok. Just trying to see if someone has advice or has been in this situation because I need help. Okay, we're going to talk about car payments. Get ready. Okay, so my car payment currently is $1,100 a month. I know, it's very scary, and I wish I was joking. But once upon a time, I was young and dumb, and I was part of very irresponsible decisions. And now I'm literally paying the price. That's a story for a different time. And getting a cheaper car was not an option at the time because I was so upside down in my car that I needed a big enough loan to get approved by the bank, something like that. So anyways, I have a 2024 Toyota Highlander, which I absolutely love. No complaints there. It's just obviously the price. So yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just stuck. But that's why I'm asking, because, you know, I guess you just save and refinance. So, or if anyone has any non-sus ideas, ways, if anyone's been in the situation, how do you lower your car payment? And to be honest, I even thought about filing bankruptcy, but I don't think I'm even eligible because, well, A, I need my car. I need a car. And also I have no other debt. So I don't think I get to just clear my debt and get a free car because everyone else would be doing that. So yeah, I don't know. Also, never, ever, ever co-sign with anyone. And if you have a paid off vehicle, also keep it.
Can I ask you a personal question? How do you spend $40,000 on a car? Like, that's $40,000 on a car. My car that I just bought is $12,000 because my son started driving and I had to let him use my old car that's already paid off. But how can I walk around my subdivision and see pickup trucks that are 50, 60 grand, tricked out Wranglers? How do you justify that? Is your car payment over $1,000? Where's the line of thinking there?
This graphic shows the percentage of car shoppers in each state that took on a monthly payment for a car of $1,000 or more in Q2 of this year. So the red states, those are the ones over 25%. So you have this state up here, which I'm sure no one really knows what state that is, but the big one, Texas. So apparently 1 out of every 4 car shoppers in Texas took on a payment of $1,000 or more, which is insane. Now, I've seen how much SUVs, how much pickup trucks are. We know there's a lot of those driving around Texas, but it makes me wonder, with all these people talking about how expensive different areas in Texas, especially Austin, where I live, how expensive all these places have gotten, maybe they're spending a little too much on other things.
Can we talk about how insane car payments are for Americans specifically? As of 2025 Q1, the average car note for a new car in America was $730, and the average car note for a used car was $530. Now, personally, I'm one of the lucky ones who not only worked at a bank, but got a new car during low interest rate era. So my car note right now is $383 on a 2018 GMC Terrain. I have put 60,000 miles on it, and my interest rate is at 3.25. Not that Americans have much choice when it comes to these things, but I could not stomach paying over $500, let alone $700 for a car note, especially because I'm 25 and my car insurance is literally going to be $200 plus a month. I know this is a thing where, again, people don't feel like they have much choice. They need a car, whatever. But this is insane to me.
Repossessions are up. I think there's going to be about 3 million car repossessions in 2025. And in 2024, they were already up to some record number of 1.4 million. So 2025, it's doubled an over record point. These numbers are crazy. They are the highest amount of repossessions. It's the highest amount of repossessions since the Great Depression. So things are getting crazy. You really need to be careful.
I just seen a video and I can't believe it. People paying over $1,000 a month for car payments. Get out of town. No way. Why? That makes no sense to me. There was a couple that were $650 a month. Most were $800 or $900 a month. And then there was 3 that was, the highest one was $1,300 a month. A month. And it was some Hellcat. And so it wasn't brand new. It was 2 years old, 3 years old, whatever it was. So it makes no sense to me. I don't know anybody where their car payment's over $600 a month. Nope. Nobody. I don't understand it. A mortgage is $1,200 a month, $1,300 a month, depending on where you live and the size of the house and all that crap. But I mean, my mortgage is less than $1,360 a month. I don't get it. I understand you gotta have a ride and all that, but seriously?
So I just bought a new car recently, and all of a sudden my feed is getting filled with people sharing their car payments. And are y'all okay? $600 car payment, $749, $830, $1,200. It's just me and the dog. So I just got a 2026 Toyota Camry LE after having a paid off 2014 Ford Escape. I don't see how y'all doing it. Even though I could, I won't.
How much do you actually need to get a decent motherfucking car? A bitch has been saving for like a year, and it's just like, however much I save, it never feels like it's actually enough. Because when I search up for cars, they always be like $12, $13, $14, $15, $16,000 for a used fucking vehicle, and then that shit already has 100,000 miles on it. And then don't tell me to go on Facebook Marketplace, because I just seen somebody say that they bought a car on there, and when they went to go register it, that shit was literally a fake title.
If you got a car payment, this is for you. Stop scrolling. So like, I want a car payment because I want my dream car and shit like that, but financially I'll be okay to afford it without a job, but I feel like that's not smart, you know. And my job I got right now, I hate that shit. Every day, hate it. So I'm looking to get a new job and shit, but I want to go buy the car like right now, but it's like, I just don't feel like it'll be smart. My peers tell me I should do it and shit like that, but I just feel like it won't be smart and shit like that. But the type of car I want, it would put me in a situation where I would have to find way more ways to make money and put me in a situation where I'd be uncomfortable.
Y'all, real quick, while I'm cooking dinner, I just can't get this out of my mind. I watched a video the other day of someone saying that they paid $1,400 for their car payment, and their husband, I think, paid something similar, if not the same price. I have several questions, but my first question is, what the hell are y'all doing for work? How are you paying $1,400 a month for a car payment, and why? And why?
A lot of people think they need to buy a new car. You just don't. Buy a reliable car like a Toyota or a Honda. A car that's going to give you 200,000 or 300,000 miles is going to last you a really long time. So you can buy a car that's got 100,000 miles on it for way less money, and just know if it's like a Toyota or a Honda, it's still going to go for another 100 to 200,000 miles. That's what the reports show. So there is a way to get a car. Just, you know, not everybody can get a new car right now. And new car prices are crazy. Like, I bought my car new back in 2017. It's a Toyota Sienna minivan. And when I bought it, it was about $31,000 for a minivan. I went and looked at the new ones. They're about $55,000. And that was 2017 to now. So we're talking 7, 8 years. And the price has almost doubled. Like, our wages haven't doubled. So I don't see why the prices of cars should be doubling or nearly doubled. It's crazy. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. Leave a comment below if you think I'm right, if you think I'm wrong, if you have some other opinions on this. I'd love to hear it, and I'll see you next time.